One of the most common questions I'm asked is, I'm thinking about getting into gutter cleaning, but I don't know what machine to go for. So today I've got two completely different jobs I'm going to. This is the first one, reasonable size house. I'm going to bring both machines out with me and I'm going to compare one to the other, and hopefully I'll help you decide which machine is best for you. Before I start, I just want to show you this new bracket that I've got from Gutter Vacuum Systems. What it does, it allows you to clamp this bar shut on the silicone gooseneck, and that way it holds it really rigid. It also comes available with a GoPro mount on it, so if you're using a GoPro, you've got the mount there. You don't have to have it with the mount, but you got it with it. So let's have a go with it and see how we get on. It's very difficult to compare the Panther and the Predator like for like, because they are two completely different machines. It's like comparing a Fiesta with a transit van. They've both got their jobs. They're both vehicles, like these are both gutter vacs, but they've both got completely different places in the market. Now, some of you might have heard that the Panther is going up to 1700 watts, but it's still a Fiesta. It's now a Fiesta ST. It's still a much smaller machine. The Panther is at the moment a 1400 watt single motor machine, pulling about 3,500 cubic litres of air. But the Panther is a 3600 watt triple motor. There's three 1.2 kilowatt motors, making it 3,600 watts, pulling over a massive 10,700 litres a minute of air. So they are completely different machines. So when would you use each one? Well, if you are doing a lot of domestic work, like the job I'm doing here, 1-2 story with a very occasional 3-story, you might go with the Panther. It's a much cheaper machine, and it's a much smaller. So, but if you're doing, if you're taking gutter vac a lot more seriously, you go with the Predator. Because of the extra airflow, you've got a much bigger machine. So you can do the small jobs, but you'll do them much quicker with the Predator. The Panther is an awesome little machine. If you haven't got much room to keep a machine, then the Panther could be the machine for you. If you want to keep a gutter vac on the van, if I hadn't got the dog in the van, I'd bring this with me every time. I'd just leave it in the van. But with the dog there, I haven't got room to keep it in, so it stops in the shed, and then I'll take whichever one I need. But the other thing you've got to think about is storage space. Now, the Predator takes up a lot more storage space than the Panther. They're just two different machines. You wouldn't try and pull a caravan with a Fiesta, you'd use your transit van. And it's the same with this. If you've got the bigger jobs to do, you go with the Predator. Much more powerful machine. So let's carry on and see how we get. This is something that you definitely wouldn't want to be doing with the Predator. As you can probably see, this is a completely different property. This is apartments, and it's also 3-story. The third story drops down, and at the back it's a full 3 stories. So we'll see how we get on with it. on that last job I didn't get a lot of footage. Unfortunately, as I pulled up it started to rain, so I didn't really want to get the camera out in the rain, so I didn't get a lot of footage. But as you could see from the footage where I pulled up, it was a much bigger job, and on that job I used the Predator. It's been a much more powerful machine. It was hard to tell when I was pulling up, but that's actually a 3-story building. There's a floor below ground on the front, and then on the back the ground drops away, so you've got a proper 3-story building on the back. So I wanted something with a lot more power, and I used the Predator for that. So as you saw as well, the Panther is a much lighter vac. So if you've got to get up onto a flat roof, or you've got difficult access, or maybe you've got to carry the vac through the side of inside somebody's house, the Panther does it easily. It's no problem at all. So what would I recommend for you to get? So, well, if you've got the money to spend and it's going to be a regular part of your work, get the Predator. It's a much more powerful machine and it does the job a lot quicker, so you'll earn your money back a lot quicker. If you haven't got a lot of money to spend, but you want to do mostly domestic work, then I'd go with the Panther. It's still a very good vacuum, very solid, very well made, but it hasn't got as much power. It's down to that, it hasn't got as much power. It's that Fiesta compared to the Transit van again. The other thing is, you've got a much smaller boot on a Fiesta, so with the Panther you've got a much smaller drum. I think it's 37 litres off the top of my head, when opposed to the Predator you've got an 80 litre drum, so you have to empty it a lot less regularly if you're using the Predator. So they're both awesome machines, they both work really well. The Panther is fantastic because it's light, it's manoeuvrable, you can store it easily. A lot of people just leave them in the van and it's there ready for when you want it. I haven't got the space to do that, but if I'd got the space I'd definitely leave it in the van so you can just pull it out when you want it. It's so small, yet powerful enough to do most domestic properties. If you're looking to do more commercial work, then the Predator. So I hope this has made a bit of sense. I hope you helped you understand the difference between the two backs and helped you make a decision. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, and thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye for now.